My name is Token D Rock here with another stream. It is Friday, September 16th, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time if you're watching this live. Market cap for crypto right now is sitting at $958 billion. Bitcoin dominance sitting at 39.4%, ETH dominance at 18.5%. As we can see, Bitcoin is still facing some volatility right now, sitting above 19,700. Ethereum right around 1450. Binance coin right around 275. Cardano 46 cents. Solana $32. Polkadot just under $7. Matic getting close to $80. Pardon me. Overall, market not doing the best. Looking at the weekly and monthly chart, or the stats for that, Ethereum's down the most on the weekly. It is down the second most on the 30-day chart, and it's pretty far down the list for the 60-day. But as you can see, Chainlink and Cosmos are actually doing relatively well on not only the 60-day chart, but also the weekly chart. So something to consider. Those are possibly, I know Chainlink is a altcoin that is rather good for the bear market. Could Cosmos potentially be a contender to compete alongside? We'll see. Obviously, they don't fall under the same umbrella. Chainlink is an Oracle. Cosmos is a L1, but nonetheless, they are both performing rather well considering everything that's going on. So we can see that Bitcoin did dip below 19,500. Since then, it has rallied to roughly 19,800. Got rejected by the bears, and Bitcoin is retesting this range above 19.6. We can see that we have fallen actually a considerable amount here in the past 3 minutes. We've dropped $100. Nothing to sweat about, but if we do break below 19.5, I do think $18,000 is in the cards for at least the weekend, but that's just my take. Looking at the 1 hour chart, we kind of have this narrowing channel Bitcoin is kind of grinding into. I think we are going to go down though. CPI numbers, though they were lower than last month's and June's CPI figures, uh, they're still not indicating that we're in a very good condition or in a very good position. Not to mention, the Federal Reserve meets next week for the FOMC meeting. Um, Jerome Powell has stated several times that we aren't looking at a soft landing of any sort, so probably going to bake at least 50 basis points rate hike for next week, but that's just my opinion. Headed over to the news. Fidelity Digital Assets, Bitcoin mining to use less than 0.5% of global energy if Bitcoin hits $2 million. That is rather small. I'm kind of curious as to how they calculate that exactly, but pretty bullish. I mean, Bitcoin is miles away from being $2 million. I think that's going to happen sometime in the 2030s. I don't think it's going to happen this decade, but I could be wrong. I mean, Bitcoin has exceeded everyone's expectations, so there's something to be said there. Here we have FedEx stock plunging over 20% pre-market on surprise slowdown fears. CEO warns of worldwide recession. Yeah, recession is on the horizon. If we're not experiencing the beginning of it, we're going to be experiencing it very, very soon. It's just kind of lagging right now. Over in Argentina, their inflation's at 79%. Interest rates are at 75%. A bit worrisome, and just like this guy put down here, Bitcoin is shaking hundreds of countries' hands because we're kind of in an everything bubble. Interest rates are out of control across the board. Um, it's not good. Inflation's needs to be checked, and unfortunately, it'll be too late for many of these countries. Japan's Katayama, the country lacks sufficient tools to battle this yen's steep decline. Not a good indicator for Japan. Here we have India's trade with Russia and rupees will soon start as top lender. State Bank of India has agreed to facilitate the new mechanism. Things need to move quickly. And here we have continuation of this. The trade in rupees could boost Indian exports to Russia to about $5 billion current financial year. That would be up from about $3.3 billion last fiscal year. So over a 50%, basically a 50% increase. Not a good sign for Western nations, Western allies. Here we have White House just releasing framework for cryptocurrency regulation, published framework for regulation of Bitcoin and digital assets. Digital assets pose meaningful risks, while a U.S. CBDC has the potential to offer significant benefits. Benefits that only really apply to the powers that be. They can further manipulate the currency at hand, especially if they have a CBDC of sorts um, in store for us. So, not good. Here we have Biden saying, from the time I got to the Senate 720 years ago.
How long we've been fighting for armor? How long we've been taking on these interests? From the time I got to the Senate 720 years ago.
Like, how is this guy still? I'm sorry. Like, the gaffes are just too much with this guy. Like, how does he still sitting president? I don't know. Anyways, we have two buses of 101 migrants, mostly from Venezuela, arrive outside Vice President Harris's house in D.C., sent by uh, Greg Abbott of Texas, the governor over there. One migrant telling me he believes the border is open. I guess this guy, Griff Jenkins, I don't really watch Fox News, CNN, or such, but that's what he's claiming is going on over there. One of the people there claims they believe the border's open. But yeah, basically, Florida, along with Arizona and I think Texas. I know Texas and Arizona for sure. I'm not 100% sure on Florida, but basically these states that live along the border with Mexico have bussed migrants or legal immigrants over to Washington D.C. and also a few sanctuary cities such as Chicago around the country that claim to be harbors of welcoming illegal immigrants and such. We need to take them in, blah blah blah. We're obviously going to see that people having the sentiment are a bunch of liars, because as we move along with the segment, they kind of say something else. Here we have DeSantis claiming we're not a sanctuary state. What would be the best is for Biden to do his damn job and secure the border. Martha's Vineyard right now, they actually shipped some illegals over to Martha's Vineyard. And it's kind of the sign that a lot of NPCs on the left like to promote. But they're probably changing their signs now, now that the problem is a bit out of their hands. Here we have Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot demanding federal support to protect her city from the influx of illegal immigrants. We need federal support, resources, communication, and collaboration that has to come in short order. It's kind of interesting how these same people were critiquing Texas, Arizona, and such for being racist, for wanting to have closed borders. Well, you get what you sow. You want to claim, you want to virtue signal to the world that you're all for illegal immigrants, but when they end up on your doorstep, it's an issue, and you need resources, extra resources, and federal support. Like, what gives? Why weren't you? Um, why did it take a crisis for you to change your tune, essentially? And what's funny is a lot of people with this sign kind of believe this. Gas has gone down 80 cents here in a month, thanks President Biden. But then they're saying, you do realize the president doesn't control gas prices, right? It's like, what do what do you believe? You're saying two completely different things. Pick one, please. Mike Lindell, Mr. My Pillow guy, told the F that his phone controls his hearing aids. He would not be able to use them if they took it. They seized his phone anyway while in the drive-through of a Hardee's. Like what is going on with the FBI? They're just raiding everyone at this point. Exclusive live footage of Mike Lindell trying to keep the FBI away from his burner phones. This kind of making light of the situation, but it's a bit worrisome that the FBI is being used as a tool to go after political opponents or people that oppose the current administration. Not a great sign. Here we have Representative Tom Massey saying, "So we're going to find out what's on my pillow guy's phone, but not go into the Capitol guy's phone." Sounds legit. This guy, Ray Epps, was stirring violence and basically he was encouraging people to storm the Capitol or break into the Capitol. I believe the day before, a lot of people called him to be a federal agent of sorts, basically a provocateur. This hasn't been confirmed because the FBI won't go after this guy whatsoever. I don't know why he has so much protection or why they won't look into him. Is he actually a federal agent or a provocateur? I'm not sure, but kind of fishy. And the double standard's unreal. They never rated Jeffrey Epstein, but they rated Mike Lindell. Internalize this FBI pillow man bet. It's crazy. Scoop. And the man for white supremacy coming from FBI headquarters vastly outstrips the supply of white supremacy, said one FBI agent. We have more people assigned to investigate white supremacists than we can actually find. It's almost like they overblow, they make the um problem much bigger than it really is, so that way people are fixated on it. It's pretty disgusting that they're doing this, personally, like trying to drive controversy and division. And then here we have CNN trying to rebrand themselves. So CNN was recently caught lightening the photo of the man who drove into the protester last night in Seattle. They said he was white. Check out the real photo. Okay, do you do understand? They are just getting everyone riled up with lies. Like, look at this. This is the actual picture. They clearly whitened this man's skin tone for better or for worse. This is creating a lot of division because, again, it's creating this false sense of white supremacy that permeates all aspects of American society. It's a bit disgusting. It's more than a bit annoying at this point. Like, how many times have I heard this narrative? White supremacy. Yes, it exists, but does it exist at to the extent that they claim it does? I doubt it. And even the FBI admits we have way more people assigned to investigate white supremacists than we can actually find. Surprise, surprise, surprise to no one. Here we have CNN medical analyst who fiercely advocated masking now admits it harmed her own son's development. Again, not really surprised there, lady. You should have done your own research instead of listening to your higher ups and just telling everyone to mask their children. What an idiot. NPC. Anyways, it's happening way too often for this to be normal. I spent over 20 years in special operations. Fit young men were not falling over dead from heart attacks prior to the COVID vaccine being forced on our warriors. Congress must fully investigate and stop the vaccine. It has been confirmed that Lieutenant Colonel Goshin died after having a heart attack during a routine physical fitness test while being deployed to Romania. When a service member dies from a heart attack, the Army now classifies that death under natural causes. Disgusting. Again, these These mandates were ridiculous. Here we have Royal Guard at Queen's Coffin is now collapsed. I think it was this guy or something like that. One of these guys. Yeah. Just falls over. What gives? Did he take one too many jabs, too many boosters? I don't know. Just speculating. Here we're going to end with Peter McCullough saying on September 13th this year, Danish Health Authority not offering, any more to people under 50 unless there are severe health problems, no longer requiring jabs and such. Young people breathe a sigh of relief from unwanted menace, Americans wishing the same, and to eliminate risk of injury, disability, and death. So again, jabs, boosters, not as great as they once claimed, but I'll leave it there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream, the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you're over on YouTube, hit the notification bell to be notified when we go live next. I will see you guys all Monday, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, take care and invest wisely. I think we're going to have a bit of a rocky weekend, but that's just